He does indeed. Okay, so you have the GOP. They're living in an REO Speedwagon time, but it's a Kendrick Lamar world, okay? Donald Trump is the hip-hop presidential candidate. He flaunts his wealth. He has feuds and beefs all over town. He refuses to acknowledge that he is not the best at everything, and he's a little bit misogynistic. He is the hip-hop candidate. And it resonates. I tell you, he's going to get some major inroads with the youth vote because of it, and I think he's actually going to do fairly well with the black vote as well. Mark my words, Ben Kissel, I promise.
No, I think that you're the first person that I've heard explain it in those terms, but when you say it like that, it makes a lot more sense. And that's my question for you, Ben. Why is this necessary on any sort of college questionnaire?
It's not. It's really sad. Both of my older brothers are gay, and they're very diverse in political opinions and things like that. The problem I have with all of these things, there's a whole generation that lives in a box, right?
Yeah.
And then people expect them to have the political affiliations of the people that are in that box. And when they break that, people are very upset. Look what happened with Caitlyn Jenner. Everybody knew Caitlyn was a Republican. She came out against gay marriage, and now they're throwing her under the bus. They create the monster. They project their ideals onto these human beings who have full 360-degree personalities, and as soon as they break the liberal narrative, they attack them.
Now, this
This
is actually an important position.
Donald Trump would have Caitlyn Jenner at his inauguration.
That's probably true. That is true.
So do you think you give the group a warning? I don't think suspending them is the right thing to do. But I like the signs. It's like a Sloman shield for women. Don't come in this house.
Good point. Good point.
Good point.
You know, frat boys are all fat.
Is that because you couldn't get into a frat? I see a little personal. Is there a personal?
Oh, I never wanted to. No.
Oh, I never wanted to be in a frat.
You were in a drama
I
club.
don't have to buy friends. I'm very charming, you see. So no, but I'll tell you, I wish I had a daughter, and I wish I was dropping her off at Old Dominion, because I would have gone Liam Neeson. I would have kicked down that door, and I would have gone room by room, and I would have beat up every single one.
The best-selling memoir was adapted for Broadway and recently won 5 Tonys, which is an award not an Italian fellow, Joanne.
Yeah.
Some students are claiming the book is pornographic because it contains scenes of masturbation and oral sex, 2 topics that college students know nothing about. One student who's refusing to read the book says it's not about the story, but more about the illustrations, which is a nice way of saying pictures of naked stuff.
There is a soccer mom in Poughkeepsie, 50 years old, reading 50 Shades of Grey, and she's like, it's a little too tame for me.
Yeah.
You know, and these kids who are, but what happened to the bold, strong freshmen? You know, these are supposed to be adults, right?
Yeah.
How is this too much for them?
But everything
Why
else.
can't we figure out, if you're a liberal, then you have to read Gods, Guns, and Grits?
Yeah,
But if you're a conservative, you have to read whatever this book is.
you know what? That's the problem.
No one
separated
digs.
it. People
Right.
don't mix. We need to mix everybody. All right.
Mix of real English and gibberish. Isn't that kind of racist?
I mean, everything about it's kind of racist, but I also kind of love it. I think his English is absolutely amazing. It's better than mine. I can't even read the menu at a Taco Bell without messing it up. I'm Kalupa, I'm Gordita, I mess up everything. But you know what? I think the bigger issue here that nobody is talking about is jobs, right? When Obama vetoed the Keystone Pipeline, thousands of jobs lost in the United States. TPP passes under the celebration of gay marriage being allowed by the Supreme Court. This is just another example of the government outsourcing jobs, and in this situation, it's the entertainment industry.
Ben, shouldn't ESPN focus on sports and not on supporting ISIS, as I have always said?
I mean, everybody knows ESPN loves ISIS. They both have 4 letters in their name. Think about it, people.
Wow.
Kurt Schilling, he's a baseball player. And I'm not entirely sure if he wasn't asking a legitimate question. How did that go? He's just a baseball player. Why are we taking political advice and even allowing ourselves to be offended by people who are famous because they're able to do feats of athleticism? He was never supposed to be the nation's sage.
Right.
He's a baseball. Can you imagine if Babe Ruth had Twitter?
Well, if Babe Ruth had Twitter, there would have been a lot of drunk tweets, I'm guessing.
Oh, every tweet.
Yeah.
Right, you mentioned Babe Ruth being drunk. I'm sure that Kurt Schilling is following right in one of his idol's footsteps.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's loaded after 7 p.m., especially after watching a bunch of kids butcher the game that he played so well. It's unbelievable, and that's the problem with political correctness. Now I'm forced to side with Sarah Palin. I'm going to shoot myself in the face.
Buddy, the pro-pot superhero. Buddy has a marijuana bud for a head, large cartoonish features, and pecs and abs worthy of Channing Tatum. Kids, the point of the campaign is to get people to vote to legalize weed, and kids, last time I checked, can't vote.
The last time I checked, they can't vote either, but they are dying of obesity. So out of all the epidemics that are facing our children right now, marijuana isn't one of them. You know, the Trix Rabbit, the Kool-Aid Man, these are the products that I think we should stop having our children idolize and romanticize. Also, this is a pro-marijuana campaign.
Yeah.
People who are stoned have the mind of a child, trust me, I know.
Yes.
And I would love to see a good cartoon mascot, but if you do vote based on what a mascot says, please don't vote.
Yeah.
Can we also just mention, it looks terrifying.
It's like we haven't even been having a conversation all year about maybe it's a bad idea to militarize the police forces. Now they're getting armed drones.
Right, I mean, also, if a person is in your backyard, I believe that you are allowed to stand your ground and shoot them.
Yes.
So, you know, I don't want a drone taking my kill.
Yes, or what you need to do is, like me, go to knife throwing school.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
At least a seeing eye dog, he helps the blind man get off the plane.
Well, you know, there was a situation that occurred in the what was it, the Alps, wherever, the Andes, a plane
Some
crash.
mountains.
They all ate each other. In this
That's right.
situation, if there's a bunch of potbelly pigs on board, you're eating like a king if your plane crashes. I think it's a wonderful idea. I love potbelly pigs. Like Farrah said, check your baby, keep your pig. I think it's, going back to Hulk Hogan, though, I think it's pathetic the way they kicked him out of the Hall of Fame, as if the WWE has some sort of moral, you know, is the moral compass for the country. This is a company that literally had characters called Papa Shango, that had a character named Virgil, who was literally an indentured servant to the $1 Million Man, who would get on all fours and pick up ones after every single match that Ted DiBiase won by cheating.
Yeah.
So there is no way that Hulk Hogan is the worst thing that's ever happened coming from the WWE. I think Linda McMahon wants to make another Senate run.
You are you're a very strong-willed guy.
Right.
But you're also susceptible to suggestions. So did they kind of pull you over to their side?
Well, absolutely they did. I have a degree in political science, Tom, from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Okay? I'm a Panther.
Right.
Hello.
All right.
Watch out for it.
All right.
I said, go, Trump, go.
Team Trump. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Ben, okay, send back the criminals. But aren't they all criminals? They came here illegally.
Huh?
No, but they're not all felons.
That's why I'm friends with all of them, Tom. I love a good criminal mind. First of all, I want to say Telemundo, in a pinch, wonderful as a smut substitute. Some of the best programming I've ever seen in my life.
It's amazing.
And as KT votes for national security interest, I vote in food delivery interest. And that's why I specifically enjoy Chinese food delivery, and that's why I'm pro-Mexican, pro-immigration, more of them here immediately, because I'm always hungry and slightly drunk.
Now, wait a minute. Are you telling me that Mexicans are bringing your Chinese to you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a perfect, it's the American melting pot that we were promised.
Ben, it's obviously ridiculous. On campuses are getting more and more ridiculous, but now they actually have to put it down in writing, and that's what you're seeing. I think a lot of viewers thought I was kidding. I was making those up. I was not. Those were from the University of New Hampshire website, the language guides.
Yes. When you stop teaching science and math, you've got to teach the kids something, and you've got to make it up on the fly.
Those weren't the STEM subjects I was reading?
No, believe it or not, that's not a trade that's going to help you in the workplace, to be offended easily.